Yo, what's good everyone? It is GlitchXCity here. Today I'll be giving you guys our NPA National Pokemon Association Season 9 Draft Analysis. I am your coach of the Big Island Weasels, making their comeback, or their return, coming back from Season 6, 7, and 8, and 1 through 5, because I made this league a long time ago, 2-3 years ago, and I'm very excited. If you guys heard that, I'm sorry, it was my phone. And I'm gonna message back, okay? But other than that, we're gonna get right into this draft analysis. I honestly don't want to go that in depth with all this. I'm just gonna say the 11 Pokemon that we drafted. We have 11 Pokemon. It was a free draft because screw tiers. I really don't want to do tiers, but it's a free draft. We got 11 Pokemon. But other than that, let's get right into this. This season is gonna be pretty hectic considering we got a few new people that you guys will be waiting to find out later on, especially our week 1 matchup, as you guys will see the day after this goes up. But other than that, let's get right into this. Like I said, first up, round 1, we're gonna pick up Megamall. This is the first time I'm ever gonna use Megamall. I've never used regular Manectric. I've never used Megamall. So I mean, its shiny looks pretty cool. I actually like it, and honestly, like, I don't know, like, so basically in like almost every draft league I've been in, I don't really, every time I draft an electric type, it's kind of like an under tier electric type or like some really slow electric type. So this time we're gonna make a change and we're gonna pick up a high tier fast electric type Megamall we got here. I'm gonna name it Misael because why not, because it reminds me of some Mexican friend I had before. It has pretty decent stats, 135 special attack, 135 speed. Those are its two most amazing stats, and it has a cool ability of Intimidate, which is pretty nice. Its moveset and its role as a Pokemon in a team, pretty one-sided. So its attack stats only 75. It does get stuff like Crunch, Wild Charge, Fire Fang, Quick Attack, and all that crap. But mainly, you're gonna see me running like Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, or Overheat. I guess I could run like Light Screen from time to time, Roar maybe. Switcheroo would be cool, but I can't even run Switcheroo. T-Wave, Toxic. I mean, most of the time it's gonna be a fast offensive pivot. Maybe like yeah, fast offensive pivot, especially with the Intimidate. And really, there's really not that much that this thing gets. It gets Magnum Rise, so I guess I could run that. But otherwise, this thing is very high tiered for a reason. It's very good at what it does. It's very one-sided, but I'm sure I can be creative in some regard. But next up, we drafted Celebi for our round 2 pick with the Natural Cure ability. We got base 100 across the board. I have drafted Celebi like at least once before, but other than that, I don't think I used it that much, nor did I use it well, so we're gonna make a comeback. Mainly, Victini is my favorite Pixie Pokemon, but we do have Celebi, so we're gonna try it out this time. I mean, it's basically the same thing, except I don't think it gets that much in terms of Victini's coverage, but I mean, basic 100 across the board, still a Psychic type, and overall, it could be pretty much mixed. It does get Baton Pass, Calm Mind, it does get stuff like Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power, Energy Ball, Giga Drain. I could run like a Cleric, like Heal Wish. I could be a utility with Healing Wish, gets Leech Seed, Leaf Storm. So there's a lot of things that these can do. I mean, Perish Song, Nature Powers, so I could probably take advantage of some terrain if I go up against any Tapus. Does get Nasty Plot, so it's a good setup super as well. It doesn't get Psyshock, which I feel like it's one of the only few Psychic Pokemon that don't get Psyshock. Oh yeah, like Unknown. But it's kind of weird how it doesn't get Psyshock. So Psychic is probably our best bet. Aside from that, we do have Zen Headbutt if we want to go physical. It does get Trick, so we can go with that. Trick Room would be cool. U-turn for utility. Sucker Punch. It does get SD as well. Synthesis, Stealth Rock. So there's so much that the Celebi can do, and it's crazy that I think this is gonna be a perfect Pokemon for me to get creative with. The only thing that's gonna be kind of hard to deal with is that it is 4 times weak to Bug. So I mean, at least it covers Megamall's main weakness being ground, main and only weakness being ground. So kind of a few synergy there. So we got a U-turner, a Volt Switcher, and pretty good speed tiers between 135 and 100. But next pick, I'm going to pick up a very interesting Pokemon that I've been wanting to use for a long time. We got Panda Express, the shiny Pangoro, because we out here getting that fried rice, walnut, shrimp, orange chicken. It gets 3 great abilities. Scrappy's not really going to be used. Mainly, it's going to be Iron Fist or Mold Breaker. Mold Breaker, depending on the opposing side's abilities, in terms of the 11 Pokemon he has. It could be a Bandit user, it could be a Life Orb user. It does get Parting Shot, and I did make this one of my Z users. So, speaking of Z users, so we have two Z users. One of them is offensive, and one of them is universal. One thing about universal is that it can use offensive and status Z moves, but it can't use any Omni Boost Z moves. So that's the only those are the only exclusions. And then there's the other one where it's just purely offensive, no status. This is my universal. mainly for the reason why it gets Snatch. Z Snatch boosts your speed by 2. So that'd be awesome. Plus 2 speed Pangoro is crazy. Like, you don't want to deal with this thing. I mean, I know it has base 58 speed, but decent HP 95, 124 attack stat, and like decent defenses. Not that bulky, but overall could be a pretty huge threat. Iron Fist could pair well with the Bullet Punch, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Drain Punch. Gets Super Power. It gets Knockoff. It does get Dark Pulse, Earthquake, and all that crap. It gets Gunk Shot, so I can hit Fairy types, which is my main weakness. Iron Head, Low Kick, Outrage. There's a lot of things this thing can get. A lot of things. Could run SD, but it's kind of too slow for me, for my liking, to run SD unless I'm up against like a Chansey or a Blissey or something. But this thing hits really hard. Even though it's really slow, there's a lot of walls that are really slow. So this thing could be a definite wall breaker. Definitely, like for sure. But next up, we got Scolipede McQueen. The Scolipede McQueen is here. McQueen is coming back from when we won our first title ever in the NPA Season 3, I believe. We did have a Scolipede in our squad. One of my favorite Pokemon ever. Originally, this was a Venomoth, but directly after the draft, I did drop Venomoth, and I did pick up Scolipede. It was still there, plus I needed some speed. Other than Manectric, I didn't really have anything else on my job that was over base 110, so that you guys kind of got the idea of how my team's kind of laid out. But Speed Boost is great. Black Sludge could run Life Orb, Mega Horn Poison Jab, or like Aqua Tail Poison Jab, Mega Horn coverage, SD. This thing could, well, I can't run Baton Pass because there's no Baton Passing speed unless I run Poison Point. Run like Baton Pass, like SD, that'd be cool, or Baton Pass Substitute. Gets Endeavor, a decent attack stat of 100, good speed of 112, and then everything else is kind of mediocre. But other than that, it's pretty cool. It gets Pursuit. Pursuit's kind of there for Psychic types, but I do have Bug Stab, so it may not be utilized unless I know it's going to switch out. It does get Spikes and Toxic Spikes, so we do have some options in terms of hazards, so that's really nice. And typically, like I said, this will either be like a Baton Pass subset, setup sweeper, or like some utility mon. I mean, it doesn't really get that much. Like, there's a few things here and there, but honestly, it doesn't really get that much. But other than that, I've used this thing before. I'm pretty sure I can utilize it as well as I did before, if not better. But other than that, let's get right to the next Pokemon. Next one, we got Sacred the Entei. Got that base 115 attack, base 100 speed, base 115 HP. This thing hits really hard. This thing's known for its Choice Banded Sacred Fire, Choice Banded Flare Blitz set. Does get E-Speed. It still does not get Earthquake, but I guess for now, it does get Stomping Tantrum, which is 25 points less power than Earthquake, but I guess it's better than Bulldoze, which is only base 60. But, like Mega Manectric, this thing's kind of one-sided. It's basically just like a very hard, physically offensive Pokemon. Another good wall breaker, mainly on the physical side. And honestly, it doesn't get that much. Like, most of the time, you'll see, like, Banded, Sacred Fire, E-Speed, maybe Iron Head, Stomping Tantrum. I mean, I guess I could run, like, a defensive set with, like, Roar, Toxic, or Will-O-Wisp. Or, like, I could run Reflect, too. That'd be pretty cool. Or I could go Special. I mean, it gets Calm and Eruption, so that's also a good option. But yeah, really not much to say about that. We got Necrozma. We got Coloring Book that were in the Cosmo coming back from our, what was it called? I think it was our, crap, I forgot what it was called, but it was like some league where we made it to finals and then we lost because we suck. But, Prism Armor, which is great. This thing got a huge buff this season. Not this season, this, generation. Well, I wouldn't say buff, but it gets so much more in its move pool. It gets Heat Wave now. It gets Dragon Pulse, which I'm pretty sure it got before. But mainly Heat Wave, Knockoff. It gets Knockoff now. It gets Iron Head. It gets Photon Geyser, which is probably probably like better than Psychic, depending on what you're going for. I could still run this like a defensive type set with like Stealth Rocks, Moonlight, and Stored Power Calm Mind, so I can still do stuff. It gets SD, Thunder Wave, Toxic, and Trick Room. So we also have another Trick Room user. We got 2 Trick Room users so far. Pangoro would be like the main Pokemon to utilize that pretty well, but Necrozma can still in itself be a pretty good offensive sweeper. I mean, look at these stats. I mean, other than speed, everything else is pretty good. Good attack, awesome Spatak, great HP, decent bulk, 101 defense. I mean, 79 speed. I mean, we do get access to Autotomize and Rock Polish, so I'm not really worried about that. I mean, like I said, this could be an offensive sweeper. But yeah, Coloring Book is here. And let's see, we're kind of a little above the midway point. So next up, we got Mantime. I honestly still don't know what to name this thing, so I'm just going to call it LOXD, because why not? It gets Swift Swim, Water Absorb, and Water Veil. Water Veil so it doesn't get burned. I think most of the time I'm going to run Water Absorb. This thing did get a pretty good buff in the last generation, where I think it gets Roost now, it gets Defog now. This thing gets like a pretty good amount of like coverage in terms of its like physical attack. Like, it gets Bullet Seed, it gets Gunk Shot, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Acrobatics, Liquidation, but yet its attack status base 40, so that's kind of depressing. But its SPDEF is off the charts, like 140 SPDEF, 85 HP, that's really bulky. So unless you're hitting me with like a physical electric type move or a really hard rock stone edge, you're not killing this Mantime. The only thing about this thing is that it doesn't get like any way to like heal itself from status. So realistically, Lantern could have been a better pickup, but I've never used Mantime before. It does get Tailwind, so that could be a really good late game sweeper as well. I could like Tailwind into Pangoro or Tailwind into Bandit Entei, so I really like the options there. And overall, I've never tried this thing before, so I'm gonna try to make use of it. I'm not gonna make it shiny because it looks like Mantike, and Mantike is ugly. But yeah, so next up we got Haxorus, we got Mr. Robberson. I may be racist for this, and if one of my certain friends is watching this, then I just know I had to do it, man. I had to do it. Mr. Roberson, because Mr. Roberson is a freaking monster. He's a beast, and this is a beast right here. We got freaking axes on the side of our jaws. We got Mold Breaker on Nerve. Mold Breaker is great for Levitate Pokemon that are weak to ground type moves like Earthquake. We got on Nerve. So Pokemon with a Bond Berry or Pokemon with like a Kevia Berry or a Shucka Berry don't eat those berries. I don't know. It really depends. Rivalry I'll probably never use. But Haxorus is really good. I mean, base 97 speed, amazing attack stat of 147, and some decent around bulk. I mean, I've never tried this thing. Like I said, there's a bunch of other dragons I've used before, but Haxorus is one of the main ones. I've been wanting to use for a long time. One D-Dance from this thing is terrifying. Like, I'm pretty sure like you cannot go prep. I'm pretty sure you like, no matter what kind of draft or team it's on, you have to prep for Haxorus, because this thing is terrifying. Base 147 attack, gets a +1. If I have a life orb, oh god, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary. I mean, like, it gets Night Slash, it gets Earthquake, Outrage, Dragon Claw, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, Superpower. It does get Surf, which was kind of hilarious. It gets SD, so I could run that as well. If I don't need any speed, I could just go for as much attack power as possible. It does get stuff like Taunt, so pretty good utility there. Toxic Exeter for like bulky Psychic types, I guess, because Night Slash is like 10 base power less. Aerial Ace, it does get Counter. Dual Chop for like maybe potential Focus Sash users. And overall, I mean, other than Poison Jab, it does get Iron Tail to hit Fairy type. So I really like this Haxorus. It'd be cool if it was like over base 100 speed, but though it'd probably be really broken if it was over base 100 speed. But overall, I really like my Haxorus pickup. So we got 3 more Pokemon left, and let's get right into this. I just want to get this over with. We're like 12 minutes and 30 seconds in. We got Type Null to Type Dull. That's the other way around. We got Type Dull to Type Null. And coming back from the same team as the Necrozma, I'm pretty sure. I forgot the name of the league. Oh my god. I don't know. I remember. But I really love Type Null. I promised myself I was never going to use it again. But this thing is just insanely bulky. Base 95 across the board, except for speed, which is totally fine, because slow momentum, like slow U-turns are great. It gets U-turn. It doesn't get like Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt like Savali does, but it does get some pretty good coverage. Air Slash, Dragon Claw. One of my favorite sets to run is like Flame Charge SD, which is actually helped me out a lot in the past. Flame Charge Facade SD. It's won me a game before actually. Iron Head, Magico, it does get Pursuit, so this can be a really good SPDEF Pokemon to go up against like really hard-hitting Ghost or Psychic types, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, Signal Beam. It does get SD, so this thing can be really bulky and it can be really offensive as well. Not even Toxic. Tri Attack is also good as well. Another one of my favorite sets is Tri Attack and plus Metal Sound. Metal Sound lowers your SPDEF by 2, and then Tri Attack's a special attacking move, and with base 95 special attack plus Stab, Tri Attack's gonna be hitting pretty hard. I could run some cool tech like Heal Block, which prevents my opponent from healing, unless it switches out, and I do have Icy Wind. Last Resort could be pretty cool. Punishment as well if they set up. But other than that, Type Null, I've always loved this thing. I don't think I got anything new in Ultra Sun and Moon, but regardless, I know how good this Type Null can be, and I'm excited to use it again. What's up? Next up, we got Palossand. We got Sandcastles to Palossand. Yeah, I've never tried Palossand before. I don't think I even have a ground type yet, so I needed a ground type, and I didn't have a ghost type yet, so I could have gotten Golurk, but I already have Golurk in another league, which is actually about to end soon, if not already ended by the time this goes up. But I remember facing a Palossand not too long ago, and this thing was just insanely bulky. Like, I really underestimated the potential of this Sandcastle. I mean, base 110 defense, base 100 special attack, so really good on the Phys-Dev side, base 85 HP, but still hits pretty hard with that Earth Power. Let's get stuff like Shadow Ball as well. It does get Destiny Bond, but that base 35 speed kind of makes it for a Destiny Bond user, unless I'm in Trick Room. But it does give stuff like Energy Ball and Giga Drain, so I can hit other ground types, potentially other water types, Water Compaction of course, and I could run Sandville as well, I guess. But honestly, depending on the water type move, more than likely it's going to be Scald, and my defense won't really matter in that regard. Let's get Paint Split, let's get Shore Up, good reliable recovery, let's get Psychic, let's get Rock Polish, which is pretty interesting, but regardless, it does get Stealth Rock, so that's another thing. I needed another Rock user, because I can't rely on Celebi and the Cosmo, so having a Pokemon that's completely dedicated to be a wall that hits decently hard back and can set up rocks is great, and also have reliable recovery. So like what was it, like Mantime, it does have reliable recovery, really good bulk, it's just toxic. See, I don't think it has any way of getting rid of toxic other than Rest, and I'm not running Rest, like heck no. It does get Trick, so I can run like a Trick Iron Ball, which would be pretty interesting actually. I can run Cobra Berry. I mean, the thing about this is that it does get like, even though it's a Fizz Wall, it is weak to like Knockoff, Icicle Crash, and all that good stuff, but honestly, I'm pretty sure I can make good use of it, and hopefully I can use this well. Other than that, this Palisade doesn't really get that much. And last but not least, we have Mawile. We got Shiny Mawile, Amy Yuka, female Shiny Mawile. Does get 3 great abilities, gets Hyper Cutter, which is attack stat can't be lowered. More than likely, I'm going to run Intimidate or Sheer Force. Intimidate for a defensive set, Sheer Force for an offensive set. And honestly, like pretty much in every league I'm in, I always have like some sort of meme pick, like just some crazy stupid pick where like there's a better option, but I'm gonna go with the lesser option anyway. But this thing's really slow. It's not Mega Mawile where it has huge power or pure power or whatever it has. Base HP is crap. Attack is decent at 85. Defense is decent at 85. Special attack is trash. Speed Def is trash, and so is speed. So overall, this makes it's not Mega Mawile. It does get Baton Pass, but it pretty much gets a whole lot of coverage. It gets Crunch, Dark Pulse, a lot of Fire type moves: Fire Blast, Fire Fang, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon. So that's Stab. I guess I could run like Fire type moves for like other Steel types, which is great. Does get Ice coverage as well. Iron Head, Knockoff, Pain Split, so some sort of recovery there. Play Rough for Stab, and it does get Stealth Rock. So this is another Stealth Rock user. So honestly, I wouldn't underestimate this thing. Like, yes, it's not like as good as the other Pokemon, but honestly, I'm pretty sure I can make pretty good use of this thing anyway. It does get Taunt, and does get Swords Dance, so it could be a Shadow Sweeper, Sucker Punch, Super Fang, and Stone Edge. So like I said, not Mega Mawile, but overall, pretty interesting Pokemon. But other than that, that is our draft analysis, and as you guys can see, we have the whole squad. Little quick rundown, we got Mega Manectric, Celebi, Pangoro, Scolipede, Entei, Necrozma, Mantine, Haxorus, Type Null, Palisand, and regular Mawile. So, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. This is our crazy draft. Yeah, pretty much, I'm always going to have some sort of crazy team. But honestly, I really like this team. I really like how it turned out. Unfortunate that I had to drop Venomoth for Scolipede, but regardless, I know Scolipede's a great mon, so I'm not going to doubt that pickup. But other than that, if you guys are still here, very much appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed, if you guys are ready to see the Big Island Beezles hopefully take a title this time, because I've been in finals like 3 times, or 2 times at least, and I've like only won 1 of them, so like, please. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. This is GlitchXCity here, and I'll see you guys in the next encounter.